Welcome back to another video. This is an oracle card reading. It is spiritual food for everyone who's listening right now, and that means you. Now, the reason this is going to be important to you is because you are listening to the reading through your own memories, your own beliefs, your own definitions of words, and that's all going to bubble up when you're listening to the reading. So it's very personal to you. Look, this is just like when we go into an art gallery and we're all looking at the same painting. We all see something just a little different in it, and that's good. And look, this is also the way God works. There's one God, one power, one source, one light shining into the world. But there's 7 billion different people perceiving that light in the moment. And so they each get exactly what they need to hear in the moment. That's why all readings are for you. If you believe or set your intention that it's that way, then you can make that use of it. If you come to the reading just with the idea that, well, it's not really for me, well, then that's how it ends up being. So don't use your light of belief to create limited, dark, crappy little limitations. Use it for good. Use it for the best that you can imagine. And in this case, use it to know that this information is here to help you for your highest good. Impartiality, it's what we're talking about. Again, God, source, universe is impartial, delivers equally to every single person, and that's why this reading is for you. Right away, you're learning that concept, that whether it be your spouse or your family member or your coworker or the person in the car next to you, the strangers on the street, your neighbors, anybody, they are all here getting the same sunlight coming down into their life. One sun, many people on the planet. And in the same way, you are perceiving the world based on the color of paint you're carrying. What's that? That is your personal experiences, your personal buckets of how you're painting the definitions of your life, of your experiences that are happening. So you see this, something happens on the news and everybody has a different opinion about it. It affects them in a different way. What kind of a person are you? Who are you going to be? You can tell just by your reactions to things, just by the way you respond to things. If you listen to or watch yourself behave compared to other people, or watch yourself behave when a situation arises, then you can notice who you are in that moment and you can make some changes. That's why she's got the 2 paint buckets, because one of them has change in it. You can always be who you are, just relax and let go and naturally be who you are. But on the other hand, observe who you are, so you can add a little bit or make a little bit of a change, amend. The more we are spiritually awake, that's what she is right here. You can see it by the little light back here and the little light on her throat with the crown chakra and the veil of light that she has on her. She's spiritually awake, meaning she knows she's a conscious spiritual being having a personal human experience. She's an awareness and a self, personal self combined. And when we know we are these 2 things, we can watch ourself go through our life and also live our life fully. And that's the key, is to really get a balance between your spirit and yourself in the world so that you are able to be coherent and conscious during these highly emotional times. What does that mean, highly emotional time? Well, if somebody, screams at you, it's going to cause you to have an emotional disturbance. Ooh, it's a surprise. And when that happens, you want to have this bubble of protection. Not that we need to be protected by anything. There's no enemy. I don't mean it like that. I just mean that when we have a harsh, loud sound or a surprising bit of information come at us, a flower grow out of the world and hit us in our mind, our consciousness, it can really throw us for an emotional loop, right? Startled. That's when we want to pause and breathe and go into our spiritual space where nothing can go. That's why it shows the chakra bubble around her head. No one can go in your secret place where you really live if you know you are that spiritual being having a human experience, going out into the world and walking around. Non-material part of us, physical part of us. The non-material part of us up here is the one that can consciously imagine new solutions. It draws on all of the white light in a variety of ways, represented by the chakras around her head. It says, all right, what can I do here? What type of material thing do I need to do with the red root chakra? What's my wisdom say? What's my wise mind say with the purple crown chakra about this situation? What does my intuition say, the blue? What does my intuition say I should do in this situation or would be best to do to help my material world expand or to help the material world of this other person, the personal world of this other person expand? What's wise to do here? What have I learned? Oh, when can I show my green heart chakra? How am I going to stand for my spiritual identity in this activity, this solution that I need to come up with? Where's my joy? How is this going to affect my joy? There's the yellow. How does this affect all of the spiritual aspects of who I am when I go out into the world and take a certain action? When I respond to somebody who disturbs me? Because we want to really bring those paintings of those beautiful flowers into our life. That's what maturity is. It's living as a spiritual being and a human being combined. It's dealing with strong emotions, not blaming and getting lost in the wave of emotions when people piss us off. And it's not like they're pissing us off. Their behavior is hitting us in a surprising way that is causing us to be emotionally disturbed. We need that emotional power, that energy, to be able to take actions and generate the growth of the things that we're imagining and feeling that we want to see come to pass in the world. So we're not going to look at the emotional disturbances as enemies. We're not going to look at it when people are short with us or when people let us down or we're disappointed or they do crappy things to us. We're not going to look at that as an enemy so much as an increase of an emotional power bank. They're actually giving us emotional recharges. Think about a car. When a car is driving, it has a thing called an alternator in it. And the alternator, as the car is churning along on the road, the alternator is spinning, charging the battery. It's giving it more power to sustain. And so in the same way, even if people like rub us the wrong way or they cut us off or they give us the middle you know what, they are causing an experience, a relationship where we can have that surprise reaction of emotional uplift. And that's going to help increase the clarity of our spiritual energy. That's why you see pure green, pure red, pure purple. That's what we're talking about. In a way, we are collecting energy from the people and situations around us, even if they're mean to us, even if they're angry with us. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't want to spend all that back to them. We don't want to retaliate if they're angry like that. We just waste our energy. Plus, we just cause more of fighting and the concepts of fighting, the concepts of separation or of blame. We create those concepts as the flowers of our life. Then they come back to bite us in our minds. They rise up into our minds, and now our mind's filled with fighting, filled with blaming others, all that. And it's a vicious cycle, a loop. So we don't want to do that. We want to repaint the picture. So this is always going to come back to a couple of main things. Are you spiritually awake? Meaning, do you know that you are a dual being? What does that mean, a dual being? That you are a self, a personal self, and a spirit in the world. And have you become more and more practiced? Have you released yourself as your identity? Let yourself die, let yourself go. Not die literally. I just mean like let the version of yourself that you are go. You're not you at 5 years old. You're not you at 10 years old. You're not you, last week. You are a new version of yourself. And that's why all the gravestones are here. We want to keep releasing ourselves. You call this like birth, rebirth, birth, rebirth, birth, rebirth, or the birth-death cycle that we keep going through over and over throughout the day. When you know that you are this light, this spiritual light, see it coming through the clouds, when you know that you are the light of consciousness or spiritual awake entity, then you're able to wear yourself like a bit of loose clothing and use yourself in the world to go out and paint better pictures, have better responses. You get to be this spirit and self combined. And that's really what maturity is. So, the reading is here to help you recognize your identity as a spirit. If you go to my website, teachselfawareness.com, www.teachselfawareness.com, there is a free course for you that will help you recognize your spirit, your awareness as your spirit, your consciousness as your spirit. And it'll help separate that spirit and self that we all are. And that's going to allow you to have a lot more freedom, a lot more power over what you do in the world. Once you accept that, that you are a spirit and a self combined, there you are in the world doing your work, sharing your sweet pie, to people. And there you are as your spiritual self that is sprinkling all that light in through you. This is the most important thing. It really is. Once you straighten out things with who you are, this is what we would call loving ourselves. Once you are able to get out of yourself, understand and accept that you are a spiritual being having a limited human experience that keeps changing in the world, when you accept that, when you accept the Christ within, that's what the Bible's asking you to do. Who's going to accept the spiritual part of their makeup, the consciousness, the awareness, the Christ within them? When you do that, then you can come again. You have your second coming of the Christ, meaning what? The second coming, meaning now you go out in the world all emancipated, all white light veiled. See the veil of white light around her right there? There's the veil of white light as a rainbow of colors, the chakras. Now you can accept that you and your higher self are one. You can release yourself, born and die, born and die, born and die by all of your experiences day after day. It's a beautiful thing. It keeps coming back to the same thing. That's why every reading on my channel is for you. Because I'm talking to one person, the Spirit of God that lives inside of you. When are you going to wake up? When are you going to know that it's true? When are you going to balance out that light? The divine masculine, the divine feminine, that's you. The divine masculine is words, descriptions, the intellect, divine masculine. The divine feminine is light, energy, light. Those two combined, they are like a married couple that gives birth to different experiences in the world. So when people are rubbing you the wrong way or turning their cold shoulder to you, don't worry about it. You're just filling up your golden cups. You're filling up those golden cups, and you're going to be able to get more and more energy. You just be patient with them, be kind with them, be calm with them, be balanced with them, so that they won't be able to have anything against you if you don't retaliate when they act like that, right? At the end of the day, the last thing that we want to look here is something from the surrender deck to see where this leads us. Remember, this message was meant for you. You're here. Everything is meant for you. Surrender to inner peace. And that's exactly what you're going to get when you accept that you are an ever-changing self in the world, and that your true nature is this spiritual identity, this flight of joy. Then you're going to keep holding on to the peaceful situations. You're going to keep your balance emotionally, because you're not going to care so much. You've accepted your identity as a spirit and a self combined, and you know that it's the things that you imagine and feel up here that you then communicate clearly out there that are going to turn out to be those blossoms in your personal life. You want to colorize your life in a wonderful way, work with me one-on-one. I'm a spiritual counselor. I know how to live a spiritual life. All these videos on this channel are just here to spark your awakening and to help you along your way. But look, one-on-one consultation with me doesn't cost much at all. And I'm telling you, it's the most important thing. And if you don't think that's true, then so be it. But it is. Because knowing you are a spiritual being and how to effectively drive the car of yourself around the world is how you get to the destinations of really what you're looking for. In relationships, in finances, in your career, in your life purpose, all of that. But anyway, you don't really need to work with me one-on-one for a fee. Instead, you could just dig into the whole YouTube channel that I have here that I've made for you. Yeah, for you. You can just accept that this is all for you, and you can get that inner vision activated easily. Here you are as a self and a spirit combined in the world, using your diamond white light of blue chakra and green chakra communication, spiritual communication, living your life like this beautiful inner vision being. Take care, friends. Enjoy. Let me know some comments. What's on your mind? Subscribe to the channel, share the video. Whatever, hit that like button. Help us reach more people. Help us reach more people. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye.